Hello and welcome to our second lesson of Western calligraphy for the consummate learner. I'm Nolan Guyswhite and I'm here in beautiful Anderson Gardens. In our last lesson, I taught you a little bit about the history of calligraphy, how the Roman Emperor Caligula demanded a more decadent and debauched form of writing. Today, I'm going to be teaching you the basic shapes. If I could get my whiteboard, please. We're using a whiteboard because the whiteboard is a very forgiving medium. Dry erase can be erased very easily, and that's what we want when we're starting off because we're going to be making a lot of mistakes. For starters, have a look at this shape. A circle, no? Wrong. This is calligraphy. This is actually the letter O, rendered calligraphically. It can be formed with just a simple circle. In fact, every letter can be formed with a circle and its sister shape, the square. There's nothing else you need to form every letter of the alphabet. For starters, let's say you want to render the letter H. All you need is a square and another square. You may be thinking to yourself, that doesn't look like any H I've ever seen. Well, the truth of the matter is, some parts of the square are invisible. Some may think it's cheating to use invisibility to conceal some parts of the shapes, but invisibility has been a part of Western art for a very, very long time. For instance, the invisible eyebrows in Da Vinci's Mona Lisa, or the invisible stadium audience in Edvard Munch's The Scream. Now, using invisibility, we can create almost any letter in the alphabet. For instance, the S. That's just two circles, but with some selective invisibility. We can also create the letter B. That's two circles and a square, but most of the square is rendered invisible. We can also create the letter M. How do you do that, you ask? Well, the thing is, a square on its side, though some will call it a diamond, is still a square. So, we make two squares as such, and make the entire bottom four lines invisible. There you see, a perfect M. Now most people know that the W is very similar to the M, but inverted. So to create a W, create the same two squares, but make the M half invisible rather than the lower one. Now, there are a few letters that are a bit more difficult than others. For instance, the letter R can be quite the tricky letter for some newcomers, but once you know the trick, it's not hard at all. Circle, sideways square, and invisibility. A perfect letter R. Another one that some people find difficult is the letter D, because actually for this one the circle and square need to intersect, which is quite tricky to the newcomer. But once you have this, you get rid of that, you get rid of this, and voila, a perfect letter D. Another one that a lot of people find difficult is the final letter of the alphabet, the Z. The way you do that is, I believe, like so. There, two squares, and invisibility. There you go, a perfect Z. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, what about all those other shapes out there? Why do we constrain ourselves to the circle and the square? Well, the truth is, there is a place for other shapes in calligraphy. It's just not in the structure of letters, but rather in the decor, the ornamentation. For instance, you may be wanting to use the squiggle. or the triangle, or even the zigging zag. There's a place for those in calligraphy, and we'll learn all about it in the next lesson. To whet your appetite for ornamentation, I'm going to show you a few selections from my own calligraphy sketchbook. Here we have an example of how one uses the squiggle. Here's an example of the triangle. And here we have an example of how to use the zigging zag. Soon, you'll be able to do calligraphy just like this. Now, before you move on to the next video, however, I'd like you to practice. Practice writing out every single letter of the alphabet 4 times, except for O, because O is so very easy. So that should leave 25 letters at 4 times each, 100 letters even, before next time. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next lesson.